大家上午好，很高兴能够再次来到国新办的发布会，就疫情期间中国海外留学人员安全问题同大家进行交流。境外留学人员是祖国的孩子，是建设中国未来的重要力量。党和国家历来高度重视、高度关心海外留学。
So has always touched great importance to the health and safety of the Chinese overseas. At the beginning of the outbreak, the Chinese overseas students has made many donations to the motherland, showing their care and support to the fight going on in China. This is very precious patriotism. Right now, we have seen a big outbreak in many countries. CBC has always concerned the health and safety of the Chinese nationals overseas by taking many measures in this regard. General Secretary Xi Jinping has made many instructions and arrangement regarding this topic on many occasions, especially to make clear that we should do a good job in protecting the safety and health of the overseas students, and also give the guidance for our overseas jobs. Especially to well protect our Chinese nationals overseas. The Political Bureau of CBC Central Committee meeting also has emphasized the work in this regard and emphasizing the Chinese embassies and consulates overseas should maintain close contact with overseas Chinese students and Chinese residents, and to know their appeals and difficulties and help them solve practical problems. President Xi Jinping himself made a phone conversation with his counterpart from France, Germany, emphasizing that the host countries should touch great importance to protect the health and safety of Chinese overseas, especially our Chinese overseas students, as well as should protect their legitimate rights and interests. Ministry of Foreign Affairs, in cooperation with Ministry of Education, has earnestly implemented the instructions of CBC of General Secretary Xi Jinping and arrangement of the State Council. The State Councilor Wang Yi required that the over 280 Chinese embassies and consulates overseas should give top priority to protect the students overseas, should bring people-oriented at our heart, and also do everything we can to take care of our children, to take care of our overseas students. Within a very short time period, we have issued multiple measures in this regard. The embassies and consulates stay close contact with overseas Chinese students, get to know their appeals and difficulties, and help them solve different kinds of the practical problems. The 12308 hotlines also available 24/7, and also the hotline for 24 hours hotline available by the Chinese embassies and consulates overseas to answer the questions asked by the Chinese students overseas. That also including other multimedia platforms and social media platforms to educate the way to protect themselves, and will also conduct the online medical service exercise, as well as giving the guidance in the protection of COVID-19, as well as the local rules and the regulations of the host countries regarding COVID-19 prevention and control. And we will continue to do so, especially in closing contact with the Chinese overseas students. And we have also built the pairing up program between the Chinese overseas nationals. So we bring the overseas Chinese with the Chinese overseas students. And they have, in Germany, established 80 students' union and organized 101 WeChat groups covering a population of 35,000 overseas students. The U.S. The embassies in the U.S. also had a video conference with representatives of students overseas, and also work with the embassies in ROK, Japan, and the United Kingdom, and also have the video link conference, and also at the broadcasted by the CCTV and CGTN, and over 100 million viewers watch the video conference live streaming given by the Ambassador Cui Qiankai in the United States. We do everything to protect the legitimate rights and interests of the overseas Chinese, especially our students. And we actually write the letters to the president of the universities and the colleges, urging them to do a good job to help solve the issues facing the Chinese students. And we talk about right now in Russia, over 100 students, because of the COVID-19 outbreak, failed to apply the student visa, and we also, the embassies help them to solve this issue. And some countries, because of the COVID-19 outbreak, ask the students to move out of the dormitories. By learning this information, and the Chinese embassies works with the universities and to give a special priority and the arrangement to the Chinese students. As the 4 students were confirmed as COVID-19 infections, and we also work closely with the Spanish government, urging them to make all our efforts to treat our students, and also the Chinese doctors by the online service platform, also giving the support to the Spanish counterpart. And regarding the phenomenon of discrimination, the Chinese embassies and the consulates actually take actions, launched a form representations at the first opportunity in order to protect the legitimate rights and interests. Regarding the desperately shortage of PPEs regarding masks and protective suits, we always put ourselves in the shoes of overseas Chinese, especially our students. So we have multi-channels available and have collected all these supplies and send the health kits to our overseas students. Regarding the health kit, actually, this is the ambassadors or the consulars. They actually give out their own stock or their own supplies to our students. The embassies in the UK prepared 200,000 health kits in order to cover all the population of Chinese overseas students. Sri Lanka right now, they also have a big shortage and also practice lockdown in their capitals. But we also have the Chinese nations need these PPE in other areas in Sri Lanka. So the local Chinese embassies and the consulates tried different channels to deliver these PPE to our Chinese nations. And we also attach great importance to the delivering of health kits. And we have so far allocated more than 500,000 kits, including 11 million masks, 500,000 disinfectants, and also the guidance along with the kits. Right now, many countries are practicing lockdowns, and the Civil Aviation Administration actually has also prioritized the delivery of health kits, make sure our students actually can receive the keys as early as possible. And look at this picture. Actually, this is provided by the Iceland consulates, the Chinese consulates. Actually, this is one of its kind, including masks, the sanitizer, and the guidance. Although just a very small size of kids, but actually that's carried the care, love of the motherland, CBC Central Committee, and State Council. The overseas students said that they actually can feel that warmth and love conveyed by the motherland. They will well protect themselves, finish their studies, and back home to make more contribution to the motherland. And also we have seen students express that message in the big chat or the circle of friends. This is really memorable. We have seen many students from different countries in my universities, but the Chinese embassy is the only one sending PPE to the Chinese students. Thank you, motherland. And they also saying they will take the COVID-19 outbreak in a rational and a scientific manner in order to well assure the motherland and their family members. And we have also sent a team of medical experts to provide scientific-based professional guidance to cope with COVID-19. And we also the medical teams worked with the local government in fighting against COVID-19 outbreak. They also conduct the face-to-face or the online communication. And we also sent a medical team to Italy, and the city of Milan actually also has established an online makeshift hospital. A team of experts arrived in the UK, including people from CDC and medical personnel. So far, they have organized 3 times of online communication activities, giving guidance to the Chinese students to let them gain more knowledge to protect themselves, and the students really appreciate these kind of activities. When our students struggled in difficulties, the Chinese government will always be there to help them. Since the outbreak of the COVID-19, we have assigned the chartered airplane or temporary airplane to take the estranged Chinese overseas back home. In March, we have seen the overall situation is severe, and we assigned 9 flights from Iran, Italy, and other hotspot countries to take Chinese students, totaling 1,457. Right now, because of the custom policy changing in Ethiopia, Bangladesh, and we have found the overseas Chinese students actually was strained. And Ethiopia actually have 300, and Bangladesh we have around 100, and also have students trained in Cambodia. After knowing the situation, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs asked the local embassy and the consulate to provide the hospitality and catering to the estranged students, and we also sent the masks and other protective gears to the estranged students. So far, with the joint efforts, all the estranged students and Chinese nationals already back home by taking the chartered flight. Right now, China still have a risk of a rebound domestically, and the international pandemic actually also pose new challenges to us. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has been paying close eyes on the overall situation of the pandemic, and we always take the Chinese nationals overseas as well as our students in our heart. Right now, we have seen that the majority of the students choose to stay in the host countries, and the experts from WHO also give the warning that make sure the less cross-border movement conducted during this specific moment. That is also we have reduced the volume of international passenger flights due to the pandemic. But we still have seen the people has the need to back home. Therefore, the Civil Aviation Administration said that the major air transportation guarantee mechanism will be activated to arrange actual flights and charter flights to cities with viable destinations where a large number of people in need are concentrated. With all these arduous efforts, we have already seen many students already back home. And we also considering for the hard-hit countries or the people with urgent needs getting back home, we will conduct a phased, orderly arrangement to take them back home. Today, we already have sent one charter flight to London to get a group of Chinese students. The flight already taken off at 9:30 Beijing time. All the back home students should follow the local rules and regulations as well as the policies on quarantine. This is for the sake of their health as well as the public health security. I also would like to highlight that in face of the pandemic, our people in Chinese embassies and consulates overseas always keep in mind their aspirations and are heedless of the danger. They 100% concentrated in protecting our students, our overseas Chinese, and providing service to them. And also, our students also fight bravely. We've seen students in Germany, Japan, organize these helping platform and WeChat groups, and also devoted in the fight locally, as well as giving the support and care to each other, and also proactively help the government, help the embassies to deliver the health kits. They are irreplaceable helping hands. The Chinese embassies and the consulates will always back our students until we secure the victory. Epidemic prevention and control is a major battle that takes all-out efforts from every one of us. All Chinese citizens, including students, are part of the fight in their own way and are making their own contributions to the ultimate victory. I would like to emphasize one more time, the Chinese government always concern health and safety as well as the well-being of the Chinese overseas. And we always give a strong back to the Chinese students. We always strive for the people-oriented manner to conduct our service. And we would also to bring the care and love of President Xi into our concrete actions to protect the health and safety of our Chinese overseas and also work with them to win the battle against the pandemic. Thank you. And now I give the floor to Mr. Tian from Ministry of Education. Good morning to all. Right now, we have seen a big spreading of pandemic in international community. Amid the pandemic, I believe everyone quite concerned about how to better protect the health and safety of the overseas Chinese, especially our students, because they are our assets. And they earth in our deep heart. In order to strengthen our efforts to protect our Chinese overseas, is one of our top job to do. The Ministry of Education has conscientiously implemented the arrangement instructions given by General Secretary Xi Jinping and the CPC Central Committee and State Council, working with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to facilitate all these initiatives. And we also work with the local universities and colleges to consolidate the responsibilities. We focus on both fronts, domestically and internationally, regarding the giving the education knowledge and delivering the health kits, solving the day-to-day life and educational difficulties, encouraging the overseas Chinese making donations, and we have provided comprehensive care and services to the Chinese students overseas. The goal is clear, is that we should make all-out efforts to protect health and safety of the Chinese students overseas. Regarding my ministry, we have worked in the following 6 areas. We have strengthened the education of prevention and control, and strengthened the supply of PPE, strengthened the treatment of patients, also strengthened the psychological counseling, focus on the pairing up program, as well as the consulate help program. And we actually have compiled and issued the guidance regarding the protection. And the Zhang Wenhong and other well-known students actually have chaired many meetings regarding how to better protect yourself, and also giving the exchanges and meetings online with the overseas students. This is actually quite welcomed activities. And we also have delivered the health kits, make sure they can be delivered to the students as early as possible. And this is also an ongoing process. Regarding the treatment of infected patients, we have also established the reporting system. Once we found the infected, confirmed or suspected cases, we will initiate emergency system. According to our knowledge, right now, the number of infection among the Chinese overseas, especially our students, remain at a very low level. Regarding giving support, physical counseling, and we also consolidate the resources available, and we have established a 24-hour hotline to provide service to the students and their parents. Regarding how to better solve the problems they are facing, Ministry of Finance worked with overseas students' unions as well as big tech groups to put hands around all these students. And we also encourage the Chinese companies overseas, as well as the different associations of Chinese overseas, to give help to our students. Regarding the visa issues or the dormitory issues, we also take the active step to help them for further arrangement. We also urge the overseas Chinese embassies and consulates regarding the Chinese students discriminated or the other issues. And we have also released a report regarding the cases that hurting the safety and well-being of the Chinese overseas. And we also give solutions and suggestions. And going forward, we'll make our work in a well-detailed manner and work with Ministry of Foreign Affairs as well as Chinese embassies and consulates overseas in order to do a good job to protect our students overseas. And now give the floor to Mr. Liu. Good morning to all. With the development of prevention and control, right now we are changing our strategy from preventing virus spreading inside and outside to prevent imported cases as well as spreading inside China. Therefore, in order to cope with the fast spreading of a pandemic, the civil aviation issued the new policies that one airplane company, one air route, one flight per week. Right now, 47 domestic and international companies has the fixed airlines available with more than 100 countries. And so far, we control the total passenger flight number to 134. And that's also based on the actual situations. That actually is a dynamic number. So this week, the number is just 108. We have reduced the volume of international passenger flights. By doing so, we would like to cut off the spreading of the virus in order to protect the peoples. But actually, we also would like to bring the students and overseas Chinese. They can get back home in order to avoid cross-infection as well as the safety of the passengers. We have issued 4 times regarding the technical guidance. And we actually have also upgrading the all preventional measures, asking the airplanes companies as well as the airports to do a good job in the terms of ventilation and the sterilization. And we also control the passengers on board to make a scientific-based arrangement of the passengers on board, make sure they have enough social distancing in between, and also need to do a good job on the health checking in terms of temperature checking as well as other health requirements. And we have the temporary quarantine areas. Once we find the passengers with symptoms such as fever, coughing, and we will put them in these quarantine areas to prevent the further cross-infection. And we also ask the airplane companies to do a good job on the airplane sterilization in order to prevent the cross-infection happened during the trip. I give the floor to Madame Zhang. Friends from the media, National Health Commission has attached great importance to the health and safety of the overseas students as well as the overseas Chinese. Regarding the well-concerned questions regarding the transmission routes, the personal protection and control manners, actually we have organized different kinds of the pressers as well as interviews to answer all these questions and clear the concerns. And on our website, we also have that QA session, and also the Healthy China, WeChat, TikTok China, and the other new media channels. Actually, we also open the specific page regarding the prevention and control of COVID-19. And regarding our official account, we also have a question regarding how the overseas Chinese to better protect yourself, and also how to do the psychological counseling and how to wear a mask in a scientific manner. We all have these documents, and we also, with the help of the overseas Chinese embassies, help to better educate and spread this knowledge to the students. By viewing all these knowledge online through different multi-channels, you can also get access to all this information. And we also have sent different teams of experts to overseas countries, and they also work with the local students as well as the student unions, and we also have seen the group of experts do the educations to the students and also answer their questions, which is well welcomed by the overseas students. And the experts, medical experts, actually also based on their professionals, give the guidance and educations on how to better protect yourself amid the pandemic. And regarding the health kits, consisting a guidance, this is to better educate and show the care of the country. And the actual flights as well as charter flights sent to the hard-hit countries to take the students back. The National Health Commission actually has specifically arranged a group of medics to provide the emergency service along the journey. Going forward, the National Health Commission will firmly implement the decision made by CPC Central Committee and State Council and work with the Foreign Affairs Ministry as well as Ministry of Education to do a good job to protect our students overseas, as well as the well-arranged arrangement of the students back in home in order to protect their health and safety. Now the floor is open.
谢谢主持人。中央广播电视总台央视记者提问。那么刚刚呢也介绍了
CMG CCTV. As you introduced recently, the Chinese embassies and consulates have delivered the health kits. Would you please show us more details in this regard? And according to our knowledge, actually, through the international cargo, some of the health kits have been sent to the hard-hit countries. And amid the pandemic, how we can guarantee a sound logistics system to deliver these health kits. As I mentioned, in many countries right now facing a severe shortage of PPE, especially masks, sanitizer, as well as disinfectants. And our students overseas, actually, as well as their parents in China, are really worried. And the CPC Central Committee and State Council pay a close attention to this issue and urging the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to give help. And we have received great support from the Ministry of Education, the Civil Aviation Administration, as well as National Health Commission, and has sent the health kits to the overseas students in order to solve the practical issues they are facing. The Chinese embassy in the United Kingdom has organized the this is the anniversary, the ceremony. Actually, that's the kick-off ceremony. That's the Ambassador Liu Xiaoming. So this is saying that the Chinese students, you are not fight alone. Country always around you, and the embassies always back you. And we would like to, by giving the health kits, to show the love and care, as well as the warmth, as well as the health, strength, energy, confidence through the delivery of health kits. The embassy in Japan also sent the service. The first big bunch of 30,000 masks actually has delivered to the students, totaling 4,000 who are badly needed. The San Francisco embassy actually has planned 20,000 masks by itself and give to the students in hotspots. And we also talk about the local embassies has in Malaysia also the actually give out their own masks to the overseas students. So the overseas students actually really can feel the warmth, care, attention, support paid by and given by the government, Chinese government. And going forward, we'll work closely with the Chinese embassies and the consulates and to give more health kits to the infected Chinese students overseas in order to protect their health and safety and work them together to overcome these difficulties. So far, we have seen the pandemic actually in a quite severe situation, which is threatening the safety and health of our Chinese overseas students. And based on the requirement of the CBC Central Committee and arrangement of the interagency mechanism of the State Council, we work with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, start our delivery of health kits to the students. For the first batch, 300,000 kits with 30 tons have been sent to Italy, United States, United Kingdom, Netherlands, Sweden, Canada, Malaysia, in total 12 countries, 46 embassies and the consulates of China. And then they will be delivered to the overseas students. And we also work with the Chinese airline, Air China, and also the Chinese Eastern to arrange the in different ways, either through the passenger flight transferred cargo flights or through their cargo channels to send all these health kits to the overseas Chinese students, and also giving the top priority to the delivery of the health kits. So for the first batch of these 30 tons of health kits will be delivered so far to Italy, France, ROK, Canada, UK, US. In total, 7 countries, we have sent 116 tons of health kits in order to fulfill the requirement of international cargo, and we support the companies from home and abroad to deliver these keys by opening the green channels in order to streamline the process, make sure all these applies can solve in a timely manner, and we also organize the shoulder the specific responsibility and tasks. So far, we have signed 178 charter flights, signed 100 medical personnel and experts, and 2,635 tons of products to Iran, Iraq, Italy, Serbia, Japan, ROK, in total 40 countries. Thank you.
接主持人。
CMG-CNR, my question to Mr. Tian. As we know, some hard-hit countries actually closed their schools, which impact the normal order of studies of our overseas students. So what measures the Ministry of Education will take to protect our students? Regarding some countries, suspension of schools, the Ministry of Education has made arrangement immediately urging the Chinese embassies and consulates to work with the universities and schools at the host countries to learn the information and urging the schools to make a good arrangement of the students in order to protect the health, safety, and legitimate rights and interests of the Chinese students, and also help to solve the practical problems facing by our students. And some countries, we found that the universities actually forced the students to move out from their dormitories, and we actually launched the representations to the host countries. And right now the problems have been solved, and with the highly concentrated places with a large number of students, we also established the quarantine site to protect the service to our students if needed. And we also like the student unions to play a key role. For example, the Educational Department of Chinese embassies organized 95 students' unions in 56 cities, establishing 208 groups that consist 710,000 Chinese students overseas. And we also leverage the strengths of Chinese companies overseas as well as the associations of overseas Chinese nationals to provide accommodations to its students. With Phoenix TV, my question to Mr. Ma. Still, students struggled whether they should continue their studies, but they also worried about the pandemic. They would like to go back home. So, from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, do you suggest them to go back home or not? So regarding the feature of our overseas students, first, it's a quite large number of students, right now total to 1.6 million. So far, we still have 1.42 million overseas. And second, these Chinese students actually in different countries. In the United States, there are 410,000, Canada, 230,000, UK, 220,000, Germany and French, 110,000, Australia and New Zealand, 280,000, Japan and ROK, 180,000. So it's the widespread of this population. And also look at the pandemic in different countries, actually in different phase, which require different prevention and control measures. And also the students actually have a different or differentiated requirements and needs. Based on all these features, we need to take all into consideration in order to make a precise help. The goal is to protect the health and safety of our students overseas. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, as well as the Education Ministry, based on the local country's condition of pandemic, giving out the targeted guidance to the students. Based on our knowledge, majority of students follow the suggestions given by WHO as well as CDC, and make sure if not necessary should not take any trip. So that is why they choose to stay where they are in order to avoid cross-infections during the trip, or they make the transfer flights. They may have that possibility as strained in the third country. That may also have some impacts to their following application of visa or student permit. For hotspot countries, if the students have the urgently need to go back home, the Chinese government will take necessary measures to help them back home in an orderly and phased manner. Before getting on board, and getting off the plane, they should actively cooperate with the customs in order to go through all these quarantine requirements. This is not only for their own safety, but also for the whole public. Going forward, we will implement the arrangement of the CPC Central Committee and State Council to solve the issues they are facing and provide good service to them. With China Daily, now in some hard-hit countries such as the United States and the UK, how the Chinese students to well protect themselves in the public areas. For our students, if they live in the dormitories, how they can protect themselves to avoid cross-infections. If they go out for shopping or buying groceries, how to protect themselves. In any venues, the Chinese students first need to keep a good hygiene. If sneezing or coughing, use tissue or your elbow to cover your mouth, and also keep a good hygiene, wear masks. As well as please follow the rules, regulations of the host countries. And in their day-to-day life, pay attention to their diets and also the workout, as well as in a good mental health. All these actually help to improve their immune system. Talk about the public, the areas such as the elevators or the other places with the large public gatherings. Please wear masks. So for students living in dormitories, please make sure the ventilation is conducted every day 1 to 2 times, and 20 to 30 minutes per time. And also keep the room clean, and also pay attention that your roommates have any symptoms such as fever or dry cough, and also take a good protective measures. Keep a social distancing. If you need to have a contact with others, please wear masks and keep 1 meter with that person. If you have to go out in the public transportation, if in the closed environment, please wear masks. When you talk to the service people, make sure that no direct contact happens, and also please wear sanitizer with you to keep your hand hygiene.
谢谢主持人。环球时报记者提问，目前呢，因为这个国际航班大量减少，很多这个留学生
reduction in the volume of international passenger flights, the students actually have difficulties to buy a flight ticket to go back home. As you mentioned, that the major air transportation guarantee mechanisms, such as charter flights, will be activated. That to the cities with viable destinations where a large number of people in need are concentrated. Do you have any arrangement in this regard? The Civil Aviation Administration paid a close eye on the development of the pandemic and also with the requirement of interagency mechanism of a state council. We have reduced the volume of international passenger flights, but we still keep the 134 flights, international flights, with 61 destinations every week. We have also earnestly implemented the requirements given by the interagency mechanism of the State Council for the viable destinations. And we will also initiate this major air transportation guarantee mechanism to arrange actual flights. From March 4th to 26th, we have arranged 9 flights to help 1,466 Chinese nationals get back home, 6 to Iran with 976 Chinese. Majority are Chinese students. The flight to Italy 3. Right now we sent the 4th one to take 180 Chinese nationals back home from Milan to Wenzhou. Regarding the unified arrangement of interagency of State Council, and we also have sent 1 flight, charter flight, to the United Kingdom. And that's the first one took off from Shanghai to London this evening to get 180 overseas students back home. Make sure there's no cross-infection happen during the trip. We will also conduct a set of measures. And first, these actual flights should follow the prevention and control measures, and also give the guidance to the crews on board. And we also have the team of experts or the medical personnel on board sent by the National Health Commission, and also conduct a health check, including temperature testing before on board and on board. And we also give the N95 masks and other disinfectants as well as sanitizers on board. And we also conduct a ventilation, and also we keep 1 seat empty in between among the passengers, and also conduct less movement on board. And also they need to go through a very stringent disinfection process for each aircraft. And they should meet these standards in order to conduct the next flight of products. For students or Chinese nationals, they have to go back home. We will initiate a major air transportation guarantee mechanism, and we will do a good job in the arrangement as well as the onboard ventilation as well as disinfection in order to bring them safely, health back home.
谢谢香港中评社的记者。请问目前有多少留学生已经确诊感染了这个新冠肺炎？
China Review Agency, Hong Kong, how many overseas students are right now the confirmed cases? And if they are the confirmed infections, what kind of help they can receive from the Chinese side? As of March 31st, among the Chinese overseas students, 36 were confirmed cases. And this is a number reported by the Chinese embassies and consulates. And once we find the confirmed cases, we will do everything to support the Chinese embassies and also urge the host countries to do a good job to treat the patients. So far, 11 already cured and discharged from the hospital.
谢谢主持人，我是香港经济导报记者。刚才马部长提到，外交部和驻外使领馆积极处置留学人员
Mr. Ma mentioned
调整滞留在中转地的问题。请问，如果今后留学员再遇到
students trained in a third country because of the transferring flights, so what kind of the measures we will do in order to deal with these similar issues happen again? because of the 8 different factors in Ethiopia, Bangladesh, Cambodia, Netherlands, we have found the Chinese overseas, especially our students, are strained. The ambassadors, consulate general, they arrived in the airport in a timely manner to protect our students, as well as work with the local government, the airport, the airline companies for the accommodation and catering. And we also sent the actual flight to take all these strained students back home. And the students saying that we really appreciate the help provided by the Chinese government. We love the Chinese government, embassies, and consulates. But I also would like to call on all the students overseas, please pay attention before the trip regarding the local requirements of pandemic. Please double-check the flight information with airline companies, especially the transferred flights. If the strained situation happened, please contact the Chinese embassies or the consulates, and also you can call the 24-hour hotline. The Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs as well as the consulates will provide the service as well as consular protection to the students. Last 2 questions.
谢谢发言人。经济日报记者提问：海外留学生如果包机回国，抵达机场后即被寄途中，
Or the charter flight for overseas students, how to protect their safety during the trip as well as after they arrive at the destination. So first we prepare the PPE such as masks, and is condition allowed. We also suggest they bring the sanitizer with them so they can keep a good hand hygiene, and also when they sneeze or cough, we also suggest them to use tissue or the elbow to cover the nose and mouth, and they need to wear masks along the journey, and they only allowed to take off the mask when they are doing the custom clearance. And also please choose the elevators and keep the at least 1 meter distance with others, and also avoid face-to-face contact with others, and also keep the social distancing with the other passengers, and do not have a big crowd in the same lift. Hand hygiene is very important, and do not touch the doorknob directly, as well as the buttons in the lift. And if you touch them, please use the sanitizer to keep your hand clean. And when you're in the waiting hall or on board, please wear masks and eat less food.
谢谢主持人。中国教育电视台记者提问：我们看到受疫情影响的部分海外留学人员出现了恐慌和焦虑情绪。请问田部长，我们教育部在今年年初
because of their studies actually it's not in a normal order. So what kind of the measures, especially the psychological counseling, we can provide to students? So this is a very important question. Actually, we have right now provided the 24/7 psychological counseling service to the overseas students. And the Chinese embassy as well as consulates also established these 24/7 hotlines available to the students to take questions from students as well as their parents. You have embassies that some ambassadors and consulate generals actually sent the letters and also conduct exchanges online with the representatives of students, which actually also pump the confidence and energy to our students to fight against the pandemic outbreak. And first, students should establish the scientific base site, and also should stay confident to win the battle, and also follow all these guidance to protect yourself. According to the suggestions given by the experts from WHO and CDC, and it's not courage to conduct a movement, especially long distance movement. And also would like to call on the relatives and the family members to bring more positive stories to the overseas students and to do a good job in fighting against COVID-19. Thank you all the speakers. Thank you all.